What are some typical endgames that arise from the accelerated dragon? Have you ever wondered what kind of endgames come from the Sicilian Defense, specifically the accelerated dragon? This fascinating opening leads to some unique positions as the game progresses. Let's break down the typical endgames that arise from this variation. The accelerated dragon starts with the moves 1, pawn to e4, pawn to c5, knight to f3, knight to c6, pawn to d4, pawn takes pawn on d4, knight takes pawn on d4, and pawn to g6. This setup allows black to fianchetto the dark squared bishop early on. One of the most common endgame structures you will encounter is the Maroczy Bind. This occurs when white plays pawn to c4 and pawn to e4, controlling the d5 square. In this situation, black faces the challenge of breaking this bind. The endgame often revolves around black trying to undermine white's control while white aims to maintain their spatial advantage. Another key aspect of these endgames is the importance of pawn breaks. Black typically looks for opportunities to play pawn to d5. If black can successfully execute this move, the position may open up, leading to dynamic endgames. Here, piece activity and control of open files can become decisive factors. The fianchettoed bishop on g7 is a powerful piece that can remain as active into the endgame. If black retains the bishop pair, they often have favorable chances, especially if the position opens up. However, if the position becomes locked or if black loses the bishop pair, white's spatial advantage can grow more significant. Knights also play a crucial role in these endgames. Black may use knight maneuvers, such as knight to g4, to apply pressure on white's key squares. In endgames, knights can become essential in attacking or defending weak pawns or squares created by the pawn structure. King safety and activity are vital in these endgames. The accelerated dragon often leads to complex middle game tactics, sometimes resulting in opposite-side castling. In these cases, the activity of the king can be a decisive factor in the endgame. Finally, typical pawn endgames can arise due to the semi-open nature of the Sicilian defense. Players may find themselves dealing with isolated or backward pawns for either side. Understanding how to exploit or defend these weaknesses is critical for success. In summary, players using the accelerated dragon should be ready for endgames that requiring strategic patience. Black must find ways to break white's bind or consolidate their spatial control. Timely counterattacks and piece activity are essential for black, while white aims to restrict black's counterplay and convert their spatial advantages.